I do it for the city, man. Feeling like I got the cheat codes of life. Jury looking like it got free thrown and ice. Debating with the reaper not to repo my life. Cause in my 23 years.
So, a part of our celebration is we have recording artist Big Sean in the house. Can we get it up?
Act like you know something.
What's up, Big Sean? I'm Mike, man. Nice to meet you once again. I just wanted to, I write for the Baltimore Hip Hop Examiner, so I just, look at local stories, national stories, and just write about them. I heard your album. It's crazy, off the top. But I wanted to listen to your album and kind of hearing about your story, how you came through with Kanye backstage and all that stuff. But it seems like you, more so than other artists, are enjoying being famous. The album is finally famous, and a lot of artists seem to be like backing away from it or scared about it or feeling real emotional about it, But let's talk about just your plight through fame and being where you are right now.
Yeah, man, I've been working, man, since I was 12 at this,
Right.
And one thing I don't remember who it was, maybe it was Rolling Stone or something like that, said that, one of the reasons they really liked the album was because they haven't heard anybody who really wanted to be a rapper. Everybody wants to be a gangster, wants to be this or that. It's been a long time since we heard somebody who really wanted to be a rapper.
Right, exactly.
So, I'm just a dreamer, man. Like, I go hard. I never want to look back on life and just wish I woulda, coulda, shoulda did anything. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Just, it's crazy how one little thing could lead to another little thing could lead to a big thing. Just like how I even met Kanye, how everything happened, and how, even in high school, I used to push myself to sell albums around high school and CDs. And, hey, you mind keeping that door closed? Sure. I used to just record CDs and sell them around high school, like pushing myself, and there was no reason why. I mean, now it all makes sense, but then it was just like I was just selling, getting money like around school.
Right.
Doing that radio show every Friday, promoting myself, and it's crazy how that led to rapping for Kanye, that led to this, to that, and I remember just kicking it with my mom. The day my album came out, we were all in Vegas. And I was probably crying with her for like 15, 20 minutes straight.
Right.
Because, she been supporting me since I was 12 or 13. She never had money, you know what I'm saying? She would always scrap it together, trying to support her little boy. So it was just tight for that moment. That was probably the best day of my life. Really.
Right, absolutely.
Just kicking it with her and my dad and my brother.
Right.
And, it's just kind of like a lot of people told me I was stupid. A lot of people told me I was throwing my life away. And now it's like, it's just the beginning, man. I'm up for like a VMA now.
Crazy.
It's all good.
So you had the opportunity to meet your fans and the young man that was here. I was talking with him earlier, and my other job, I work with education. I work with young boys in the city in Washington, D.C., trying to transfer and help them get from high school to college. And I know that when you were in high school, what I've heard, not from you directly, but that you were a good high school student.
Yeah, I graduated with like a 3.7, man.
Yeah, and that's amazing. And young boys in the cities that we're from, they need to hear that. Could you talk about just kind of like how you use that, your smarts to get you to where you are? When you rap, I can hear the intelligence in your rap. Just so that's good for me as an educator to hear that. But can you talk a little bit about that?
Appreciate that. Yeah, I don't know. I just worked hard in school, man. I'm from a family where education was always like a way to a better life.
Absolutely.
So my grandma and my mom, they always just instilled it like, man, you always got to do good in school.
Right.
So I was doing good, and the ironic thing is I didn't even go to college, but not to say, college isn't right or wrong, I just didn't.
Right.
I was on my way to Michigan State with almost a full scholarship academically. And, I gave it all up just for the possibility of maybe signing to Kanye. It wasn't a for sure thing.
Right.
But, it all worked out. Like, you always, man, got to follow your heart over your head, always, man, because I would have hated to have gone to school and then been like, man, I wonder what would have happened, if I would have went with Kanye, or I wonder what would have happened if I really dedicated my life to music. So
yeah,
that's really what it's all about, man. And I remember telling some of my teachers I didn't want to go to school. like that. I think I want to do this music thing. A lot of them told me I was stupid, like, you know. But that's one thing you gotta make sure, man, as somebody who's an educator or helps teach his kids, man, if they don't want to do what's the, you know, if they don't want to do the traditional way of life, you know, don't call them stupid, man.
Right,
One of my teachers called me stupid and told me I was throwing my life away. And ironically, she's the same one who invited me back to speak for the kids.
Crazy.
But the point is, like, man, just always, like, you know, I think school is more so of a crutch more than anything.
Right.
You know, especially for people who, sometimes school is a necessity, like for if you're trying to be a lawyer, a doctor, whatever.
Right.
But you know, some kids don't want to go to school, man. And if they don't want to go to school and they may have another plan,
right.
You know, I think they should support that just as much too.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And, but yeah, you never want to be 80 years old wishing you would have, could have, should have did anything. That's kind of like the message I convey in my music. You know, even though I have songs like Marvin and Chardonnay or My Last or like Ass, it's songs like So Much More and songs like Memories and songs just, you know, that really convey that message of just doing what you love to do and living in the moment.
Absolutely. Can you just, and this is my last question, I know there's other people wanting, but can you just talk about just the creative influences of the album? I mean, of course we hear some of your good music brethren influence in the sound, but just other than that, just other MCs or other things that are happening in your life that influence the album.
Yeah, I think, you know, just growing up in Detroit, I was like, grew up in the hood. You know, I went to private school when I was young too, every day. So I would have like best friends who were Jewish, you know, Indian, you know, white, black, yellow, and green at school, and go home to the hood and have hood ass, you know, ghetto ass best friends.
Right.
So, but I think that gave me a spectrum that a lot of people never got to see from Detroit, and it kind of did a lot for my like thinking. I feel like too, and you know, it kind of made me open to like see how everybody thinks more so, and just not one type of like crowd.
Absolutely.
I kind of relate that to my music. My music kind of isn't. When I go to my shows, I don't see just black people. I don't see just white people. I see like black, white, Asian. And, you know, because I think it's all about, there's a universal sound and universal feelings people can relate to. Like everybody can relate to, you know, partying like it's your last or whatever.
Right.
Getting high all life.
Right. Of course. Right.
So, you know,
of course.
But yeah, I think that really helped my upbringing. And then just listening to people like Eminem, Royce da 5'9", Jay Dilla, Slum Village, you know, the Cheddar Boys, Street Lords. You know, and then mixed with like Kanye. College Dropout was probably the first album that I really heard that really made me like damn near like cry. It made me feel like a certain way. Like his outro. That's kind of really. That after I heard that, that's when I for sure knew I wanted to do music. Yeah. So it was tight that I got to sign to my idol, man.
Isn't that crazy?
Real.
That's crazy. You seen that? You heard the Watch the Throne people anticipating it?
I was in the studio when they was doing Watch the Throne, man.
Really crazy?
I was in the studio sitting between Jay and Ye, and I was thinking like, damn, man.
Like, what is this about?
You know, and it's like, I used to ride to school listening to them fools, man. You know, I got people calling me that I consider legends, you know? And it's perfect, man. It's nobody else in the world as happy as I am, man. Flat out. And, you know, I'm going to take full advantage of it. I'm not going to let up. I'm going to keep going hard and keep working hard. And,
absolutely.
You know, there was a lot of things about this first album that didn't all the way come through, you know, as far as mistakes and stuff like that. So I'm anxious to take everything I learned from this one and put it towards the next one.
Absolutely.
So, you know, I feel like the next album is going to be 2-3 times better than the first one. Just because sample clearance, deadlines, mixed with all that kind of got messed up. So.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, absolutely. I appreciate the opportunity.
No
Thank you very much. Good luck with everything.
And this was all inspired by Little Marvin Gaye and Chardonnay.